Hi, I'm Leah Griffith, and this is my Handcraft Your Life series where I teach you how to make beautiful crafts and then take these crafts and integrate them into your home. One of the best crafts to make that is so easy to decorate are wreaths. I love making wreaths, and it is wreath time, it's fall. So today I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful asymmetrical berry and fall leaf wreath. This is so simple, especially if you have a cutting machine. For this wreath, I'll be using the Frosted Craft paper pack, which is the stone fruit colors. For the berries, the cotton spun paper balls in 12mm. Here's a 12-inch grapevine wreath, and then the brown binding wire. For the tools, I'm using a cutting machine to cut out all my leaves, but you can use your scissors or your detail scissors. I need some wire cutters, a curling tool, and some high-temperature hot glue. What makes this wreath unique are the berries, and I love using these cotton spun balls in this way. It's just such an easy option. You can make the berries exactly the color you want, and they're still paper. So it's really easy to do. You're going to cut some of this binding wire into little strips. This is about 3-4 inches. So I have some pre-done here. Then you'll take your hot glue gun, and you'll notice there's a little hole on one side. Just slide your hot glue gun in the center of that hole, drop some hot glue in there, and then put your wire in and let that cool. So I'll sit and do all of my balls at once, get them all glued up. And once I have a pile of these berries on stems, I'll take 3 at a time and then twist them together. Kind of place them at different levels and then just twist the wire. Then I'll have a pile of those going, and I'll twist 3s together, so I have 3 sets of 3 on this one. So then if you want to paint these, I would say go ahead and paint them before you twist them together, or you can do them in 3s. That way you can spread them out a bit like this, use your paintbrush, paint around them, or if you're going to spray paint them, I did it once I had everything bundled. And some of the bundles I would do a set of 3, some a set of 2, so that there's variation on sizes of these bundles. Here's just a set of 2, so there's 6. Here's a set of 3, so there's 9. Then when I go out to spray paint them, I make for sure that all the balls are splayed out so they're not touching each other, and I can reach them on all sides. Go put a pair of gloves on and put a mask on. Very important, because this is spray paint and we don't need anything in our lungs right now. The colors that I used for these, I played with some different colors, and they're all really beautiful, so you can kind of take your pick on what you like. There's the Design Master Maroon and then the Design Master Violet. These two are just beautiful. But there's also a couple other varieties. We have here the Purple Pansy. This is a just for flowers, but they're about the same. And I really like this one too. This is a tent, so it's a bit more see-through, but this is a plum, and I actually added this at the end, and it really deepened the color of this berry. So you can pick what you like, test some things out. You can also use probably a regular spray paint. The thing that I love about Design Master is that they offer such beautiful colors. All of the tools and materials for this project can be found in our online shop. The leaves for this wreath are all made from our frosted paper pack, which is the stone fruit pack. And I used color number 1, color number 2, and 3. So you'll still have some extra paper left. I only used 1 sheet of each. I do recommend that you use a cutting machine to cut these leaves because there is a bit of detail, especially on these amber leaves, but you can cut them by hand. The beauty of using the Cricut cutting machine is that you have that scoring tool, especially if you have a maker where you can use the scoring wheel and look at all this beautiful detail that you can create. Once you have all your leaves cut out, there's a few things you'll want to do to shape them. For this cute little ivy leaf, I'm going to fold them on the lines. There's a center line, and I'm folding them backwards. The score line is on this side. It actually works better if you fold it backwards along the score line. And then there's a crease at every point. And then I'll flip that over, and that's the little ivy, and that's ready to glue onto the stem. For this one, I will fold it backwards, but because I want all that detail on the front of the leaves, I'll flip it back and fold it forwards. Then I'll take my curling tool and just add a bit of shape on each side. And that's ready to glue onto the stem. And for my maple leaf, I'll do the same thing where I will fold it backwards. I'm doing the 3 biggest points one direction, and then flip that over and fold these 2 little flaps on the end. And here's what the folds look like. Then I'll take my curling tool and I'll just kind of rotate which direction these points should go, just to give it some variety. And that's ready to glue onto the stem. So the thing that I love about this binding wire, I'm finding that this wire stays on frosted paper better than anything I've ever used. You will want to use a high temperature hot glue gun to keep it on there. If you don't have this in your craft room, it's very inexpensive. It comes in 3 colors. We also carry this in our shop if you want to go pop over there, but you'll want to have a roll of each of these colors if you're crafting along with this, because we use this quite a bit. So I've cut them already into 4-inch pieces. Flip it over onto the back side, and I'll add a bead of glue about 1 inch long. All right, that was a bit much, but we'll just spread it out. And then I'll place my wire right onto that bead of glue. Now it's pretty hot, so I'm going to count to 10, let it cool off just a bit so I don't burn my fingers. And then once it's cooled off just a bit, I'll pinch it just to give it that final seal. Now, the back of the leaves will not be showing on this wreath, so you don't really need to worry about that mess. But if you have something where you want to see both sides, you could either cover that with a little piece of paper, or you could also glue 2 leaves back to back. You just might need more leaves to do that. Okay, so that one's ready. We'll put that in our pile. Do the same thing with this leaf. Maybe about a 1/2 inch strip there. Place the wire, count to 10, and then give it a pinch. And this wire is just so soft that and malleable that it makes it, almost indestructible once you have it glued on. Okay, then same thing we're going to do here with the ivy. The ivy is bent out just a bit different, so you'll want to place the wire on the back side. You'll see the little edges are flipping out a bit, but we'll take care of that in a second. And then I'm going to pinch it on. And then once you pinch it, it actually stays in place all the way. Now for the ivy, what I did was I bundled them into 3s. You can see this, different stem lengths that you don't want to have them all the same stem length. And then I splayed them out like this, took them out to my outdoor space, put my mask and gloves on, and just barely tipped the ends of them with the violet paint, just to give them that tiny bit of variation in color. All right, we have a pile of ivy, we have a pile of the maple, and then we have these beautiful amber leaves, and we also have our berries ready, so now we're ready to assemble onto the wreath. I see the star of this wreath being the berries, so the berries are going to be the main focus, and then the leaves will be the support. So I'm going to start by placing the berries, and we're talking about twistable wire going into this beautiful grapevine. So this is a really easy assembly. You probably don't have to use glue if you don't want to. You can use your wires to twist things into place. So the first bundle, you can see there's a little wire holding this grapevine in the circle here. So I'll just tuck that right under. Might take a little bit of maneuvering. Pull that through and then twist that around. So that's not going to go anywhere. I think that you don't even need to add any glue. For this wreath, I'm not going to cover the whole thing with leaves. I want to make it a little bit off center, and I'm not going one direction. This is a very playful wreath, just like last month, where things will go all different directions, so it looks very wild. So I'm going to splay these out a bit. Again, tuck these into the wire. I think since the berry bundles are the thickest and the biggest thing, really tucking them into these wires is the best place to put them. This would help. You can get your needle nose pliers in here. That will help you kind of move these through. And then if you feel like you have any extra bits of wire, you can trim those off as well. You can see how I've looped it through the wire. Then I'll go back and do kind of a swirl around the wire, and that keeps it from falling off. That's very, very secure. I want some of the berries to go into the center of the wreath and some of them to splay outwards. So this one, I'm going this direction. There we go. These wires are very soft, so some of them I'll bend backwards so I have a nice double point to place into the wreath. And once I get it done, I'll check and see if there's anything that feels loose and go ahead and glue them. But it should be pretty good. I'm using the leaves to cover up sort of my bundles of wires that are wrapped around the base of the berries. So right now I'm covering those up. And once that's done and all the mechanics are done, then I can just start designing. And I'm using the largest leaf to do this. That seems to make the most sense, but you could use any color of leaf that you want to. Again, I want my leaves to go different directions so it doesn't look like I'm trying to be uniform. And the nice thing, I slid that leaf right through the vine, and then the wire, which is also brown, comes through. I'll just kind of wrap it back around, and that secures it in place. Can use glue, you don't have to. At this point, I'm going to add some leaves out around the side to start giving some random shape. This is just so much fun. It's easy to place these leaves in. I haven't folded these wires. They seem to slide in pretty easy from the side. You can see it's coming out here, so I'll just wrap it around one of the twigs, and it's really secure. Something to think about when you are making a wreath is where are you going to hang it? If you're hanging it on a wall or a door that's solid, you don't need to worry about the backside quite so much. But if you are going to hang it on a window or a door that has a window, you do want to flip it over and make sure the back of the wreath looks just as beautiful. You know, you don't necessarily have to have the berries, but you might want to cover up some of your wires and things that look a bit more clunky so that it looks pretty when you're coming in the door and going out the door. Okay, my wire just broke here. I think it may have been pre-cut and I didn't notice it. So in this case, I will pop some glue and just place that right onto the grapevine, and it sticks really nicely. I think I'll add a large leaf. These larger maple leaves, I'm going to add one into the center. It's not going through quite so nicely, so I'll fold it to give it a bit more structure. I think there's something I'm bumping into, so it will bend the wire. There we go. And I'm making it a bit heavier on this side. I want this to be really light, less leaves, just to give it kind of a off-center break. I'll add a couple more of the other colors here, but most of the larger leaves I'm putting up on about 3/4 of this side. All right, first set of leaves are down. I'll next do these little purple and gold ivies because they're a very similar color, and then we'll finish up with the amber. So let's see, I want to add a bit more coming into this space just to finish that out. And since these are twisted together, they actually slide in really nicely. You can just bend up the end so you don't have these loose points. And then this will just really go in quick and easy. As I'm layering the leaves in, I do want to keep the berries forward. I don't want to cover up the berries too much since they are the focal point. So when you put a leaf in, you can just rearrange it a bit. You can see how the density is building up on this side, and then it's still pretty lightweight over here. This is where it gets fun. I mean, you can do this any way you want to. Design it, you know, full all the way around if you want to. And since I'm not really gluing anything in, you can remove things pretty easy as well. I think I want a bit more density in this section. Okay, I have this part done. We have our ivy, we have our maple, and now we'll add the final leaf. And this is just to bring some dimension, giving it some different color. And I love the details on this leaf. I'll start here because this again is where I just want a few pieces, and then we'll add density onto this other side. So visually I'll place some of these very specific. I decided I didn't want it there. Pull it down a bit further. I'm folding these in half just to make them easy to slide in. The beauty of these grapevine wreaths is they look pretty. You don't have to cover them up all the way. You can have a lot of it peeking through, and it's just such a beautiful look, especially for a fall wreath like this one. So right now I'm adding these leaves kind of tight in the center, and the next layer I'll start moving them out into the outside of the wreath and into the center of the wreath. I'll need longer stems for this, so if I don't have to fold it, that might work best. So let me see if I can slide that in here. There we go. In this case, I just looped it around a wire and I twisted it. That will not fall off. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm using the wires that are wrapped around the grapevine to attach these. Since this is a bit of an asymmetrical wreath, I'm going to use the rest of these amber leaves a bit more dense in this section to really give it that noticeable asymmetrical look. I just noticed that I have 4 leaves in a row here, and I don't really want that. It looks too even in place. So I'm adding some more leaves in different directions to kind of break that repetition. There, that's actually already better. These two break it up, but I'll add a few more. Final leaf. So there you go. Asymmetrical, you can hang it this way so it's heavier on the bottom. You can do it at an angle like this. This looks pretty all around. And then the back side, again, this is going against a door so no one will see this back side. If so, I might add a few extra leaves back here just to finish it out and make it look complete. So here you have your beautiful wreath. You can hang this on your door. You can use it as a centerpiece for your fall table. You can also give it as a gift, but however you make this, if you use different colors, use different berry types, whatever you do, we would love to see your crafts. So make sure that you use #MadeWithLeah on your social so we can follow along with you. Wait, there's one more step. Subscribe to our channel below so you can be the first to know when we post new craft videos.